also. Don't take Tylenol. Don't give Tylenol to the baby. And every time they give them a vaccine, they're throwing Tylenol. And some of these babies, they're long born, and all of a sudden they're gone. And it doesn't hurt not to do it. It doesn't hurt. There's no downside. There's no downside at all. And break up MMR. Break it up. It's practically a known fact that if you break it up, you're not going to have a problem. But for years, we've been hearing how bad MMR is as a combination.
Okay, so Andy Wakefield, we have just watched President Trump, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., talking about what causes autism. We heard a lot about Tylenol, but we heard an awful lot more about vaccines than we thought we would. I think the British medical establishment owes you an apology.
Yes, I think when hell freezes over, that'll happen. But it doesn't matter. You could have knocked me down with a feather, Poles. I was not expecting that. I'd heard that there was going to be an announcement on acetaminophen, paracetamol in the UK, and its use in pregnant women and for modifying fever related to vaccines and how dangerous that might be. And that's entirely plausible. It's a very reasonable idea because it depletes your ability to oxidize and to anyway. I'm kind of lost for words. It's not usually I'm not lost for words, Paul, but it's entirely plausible, and it's an idea that's been around for a while and one that certainly merits exploration. In other words, the question was: is a fever following vaccine a risk because there's a greater exposure to acetaminophen as a consequence? And what Trump said was something completely different. He talked about the acetaminophen risk, saying cut it out in pregnant women, reduce it dramatically, and cut it out of giving it to kids for babies for fevers. It was spread out the childhood vaccines. Good Lord, how long have we been saying that? Avoiding of giving too many too soon, break up the MMR. Good heavens above. Break up the MMR into single vaccines. I know you would just stop it altogether, but as an extraordinary step for this president to sort of take, to say break them up, too many too soon, delay the first hepatitis B vaccine until 12 years of age. Wow. Now given in the first 24 hours of life. How extraordinary is that? I mean, the CDC must be in a bit of a tizwas, and none more so than the pharmaceutical industry themselves. Eliminate mercury preservatives. Now, that's largely been done, but has to come out of the multi-dose flu vaccines and those things. But to take the aluminum adjuvant out of vaccines, now that's huge because the function of the vaccine is really in many ways dependent for many of these vaccines on the boosting effect on the immune system of that adjuvant. So that would be a huge step, but it is a known neurotoxin. So why are we injecting it into babies, into anyone in the first place? We shouldn't be doing that. And I think one of the things he said is the current vaccine schedule is like injecting a horse with a vat of vaccines. I mean, that's a pretty good visual right there. So, and the other good thing is he's committed to funding research to the tune of many millions of dollars to get to the bottom of this and put an end to the autism epidemic. And whatever it is, whatever it comes down, if we can put an end to the epidemic, that is a huge step forward. And then, of course, what we have to do, and what you and I have talked about so often, Poles, is what do we do for the children, the adults who are already injured? We mustn't forget them. It's great if we can stop the epidemic, that's absolutely essential, but we mustn't forget those who've paid a price. So there needs to be compensation. I was going to say just compensation. There can never be any just compensation, but that needs to be addressed most certainly. So
a quick question to you, this, and I mean this, I really want to hear this from you. How are you feeling though? You must be feeling a bit emotional because this has been going on for years. All you asked for them to do was to listen to the parents, which you have done. You were the first man to stand up and listen to us, the parents, to our children's stories. And it's been going on for years. You've been abused. You've been thrown out of your country. All of these things that have happened to you. And now we have President Trump standing up, adopting everything, your recommendations of splitting the vaccines up. This is your moment, Andy, and you deserve it.
Well, you know what, Paul? The parents deserve it. I listened, but the story came from the parents, and so all credit to them for bringing our attention to this. It's just tragic that the pushback from the system meant that this answer has been so long in coming, or this determination to address the issue has been so long in coming, and how many children have been lost in that time. I just learned today, Poles, that Jackie's son, I didn't know this, but one of the founding people of the sort of vaccine activist movement in the UK, whose son was injured by DPT vaccine, he has died. I didn't know that before. I must give her a call and say how sorry I am, but just a young man, absolutely tragic. So there's a lot of work to do, but this is a huge step forward, and you must be very pleased as well. You've been screaming from the rooftops about what happened to Billy for so long, and this is some measure of justice for you and mothers like you.
And so just to summarize this up, correct me where I'm wrong here, if I'm wrong on anything. So the question is, he said we don't want aluminium in the vaccines. Can you even make a vaccine without aluminum and mercury?
It's a very good question, because without the aluminum, which boosts the immune system, it kind of puts it into overdrive and allows you to develop a necessary immune response, or what they perceive to be a necessary immune response. The question is, would it work without that? Are there alternatives? Well, there may be alternatives, but clearly they're very reluctant to get rid of it because it's an effective adjuvant. The trouble is, it's a toxin to the immune system, and it's a toxin to the brain in particular. And when that brain is developing, then it's particularly, I think, particularly innocuous. And so, will it work? They're going to have to find some alternative. Let's see what they come up with.
Okay, well, Andy, I don't have any more questions for you other than to say congratulations and thank you for all the hard work over the years for our children. And now I think what happened today is going to make parents think, well, wait a minute, I don't even think I want to vaccinate now. Because if you read between the lines of what Trump was saying, vaccines are unsafe, ineffective, can and do kill and cause autism.
Yeah, and he cited the Amish as an example of a population who don't vaccinate and have no autism. The only autism in the Amish population is adopted children who've been vaccinated prior to being adopted into the Amish community. So, you know, it was great to hear him speak very plainly to the people of this country.
How do you think Brian Deer's feeling right now? Oops.
I don't know. Brian Deer, I don't know. I don't think about him at all.
I think he's feeling very well right now.
No.
But he owes you an apology as well. A lot of people owe you an apology, Andy. And just quickly tell everybody what you're doing now and how they can contact you, fund your new films. Your films are amazing.
Thank you. We talked about this, and the film I want to make is a film that really goes to the heart of not forgetting about those parents, those children whose lives have already been damaged, and have been the soldiers on the battlefield of this war against infectious disease, at least as it was perceived by the public health authorities. And so it's not about vaccines, but it is about survival. And because you and I know that one of the greatest fears that parents of an autistic child or adult have is what happens when I die or become infirm. There's no one to look after my child. And you raised this issue very eloquently in front of Ron Johnson's committee when you threw your script aside and just told it really like it is. And so this is a story about that very thing. It is what to do, how to make provision, how to survive, and how to try and create a world that cares about your child, loves your child, and understands what it is they're going through. So that's my next film. It's a full-length narrative feature film. It's actually, and I know you know this, Paul, it's a Western, believe it or not, but it's set on the Oregon Trail. Anyway.
Well, how do people contact you if they want to help you make this film?
I'd love people's help. This is, as we've moved through the filmmaking hierarchy, they've become necessarily better and better films, but more and more expensive, more and more costly. And so, and we're looking for investors, not just donors, but we're looking for people who would like to invest in this process. So go to wakefieldmediagroup.com. wakefieldmediagroup.com. All of the films can be seen from that website, but at the bottom is a way of getting in touch and contributing. So thank you for letting me mention that, Paul.
No, it's really important. And just one last thing, I'm very proud of Bobby Kennedy, because here's the thing, Andy, whatever happens has been happening for the last 7 months. He's been working so hard to educate Trump, educate his team, and fight for us. And he's had a lot of backlash as well. People saying, not enough, do it now. And it's happened in 7 months. He's achieved this. It's
yeah, you've got to remember that people have got to understand that he faces a Congress, he faces a Senate and a House, the vast majority of whom, the members of whom, are funded for their campaigns by the pharmaceutical industry. He is going to meet the most enormous pushback, and yet he's achieved what he's achieved. I mean, you and I have been in this a long time. We could not have imagined even a year ago that we would be where we are now. So, you know, give this man a break. He's doing an extraordinary job. He's surrounded by great people, and he's making great progress. And he's brave. I mean, he is so brave. We've seen how people react to opinions that they don't like in this country. And Bobby has a family history of facing this kind of threat. So he's a wonderful man. He's doing a wonderful job.
And he knows the truth. Andy Wakefield, thank you very much for coming on and talking to us straight after. This is minutes after the conference on autism, what causes autism. And there's more to come as well. So I'm sure over time we will get to the bottom of it. Thank you, Andy, for being here.
My pleasure, Paul. Thank you.